Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, it's going to be a little bit of a vlog again, so I apologize for that. I know those are kind of boring, but I just want to get something recorded because there's a couple of things that I acquired on the Talon again, some accessories. Last video, I was up in Oregon. I went to the Oregon Dunes for a couple days. Enjoyed it. It was really nice. I know it was a little short on Ruby's return because I rode Ruby again, which was really fun. Got to get out to Chappie Shasta again. I know I keep saying that. It's going to happen. There's just things that just keep coming up that I got to get taken care of and stuff, and haven't had a whole lot of time to get it prepared to get out there and ride again at Chappie Shasta. So just bear with me. It's going to happen. Looking back on those videos, on the one up in Oregon last time I was there, for 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I should have done a little more, wasn't really satisfied with the outcome, but I got some views out of it. A lot of you watched it and a lot of you liked it, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. There's things I just kind of wish I would have done a little more. I should have rode a little bit more and made it a little longer and stuff, but it was getting kind of late in the day anyway, and I needed to I was going to go somewhere with my family. I was visiting my relatives up there again, so my aunt and my uncle up there in Eugene, Florence area. So anyway, as I mentioned in the last video, before Ruby's return, and then before the ride on the Talon of Chappie Shasta, I mentioned that I did get a winch for the Talon, which it came in about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just haven't put it in yet because of certain things that have been going on. Then I just haven't had. I just kind of wasn't really in the mood to really do anything. So, but anyway. Actually, there's 2 accessories that I got. One is I got a Warren 3,500 pound winch for the Talon. And then the other thing was, which I'll show you guys right here, is I got the half windshield, a Tusk half windshield for the Talon too. It's got the protector on there. It's a polycarbonate, scratch resistant, removable. It has straps on there that clamp on. That's supposed to be. I thought it was like a clamp, a screw-on type clamp, but it's not. It has Velcro straps that go around the A-arms here. Well, not A-arms. The A-frame here and then here, to where I can still have the mirrors and everything. So there. So it comes up about right. About that high, which is actually kind of nice because I was told it restricts a lot of wind off of you, but allows enough airflow through the cab, especially if you're, well, not cab, but cabin, if you're in hot, summer days or whatever. But I don't think I want to ride when it's hot anyway. But it also deflects a lot of dust and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what came in. Actually came in on Monday. Here's the hardware for it right here. It's got the seal that goes on the bottom piece here that will fit right across right here. And then here's the hardware. Here's the straps. And it's real simple to put together, though. I mean, it's you got the straps, you have the instructions and whatnot. So, and then with the winch, we're gonna start with the winch first. I'm gonna. I don't normally don't like doing. Set this camera down here. I'm using the GoPro, by the way, because my camcorder is not working right now. Well, I kind of lost my train of thought again, so just give me a second. Okay, now it was. It came with the winch, came with the mounting plate for the winch itself to go on the bumper, on the Talon's bumper. Still the stock bumper, by the way. I didn't get an aftermarket one for the front, but as I showed you before, I got one for the rear. But it came separate. Here's the mounting plate that the winch will go on to. That will go on to the bumper, and then you put the bumper back on, instead of fighting through it to get the winch into the bumper. It's easier to take it out and stuff. Got the hardware for that right here. This is the hardware. Normally, like I said, I don't normally like doing installation videos, mainly because the camera's on rolling and stuff, and I don't want to screw up and, you know, everything. So what I'll probably do is just kind of record bits and pieces of it, and then show you what I did and show you how to do it, in case some of you might want to know how to put these on. I don't really. It's got instructions, but they're not really instructions. They just kind of show you what's in the package, and the bolts and nuts, the wiring, and whatnot. So yeah, we'll do that, and then hopefully this will go smooth, and then I'll show you the results of it, which I'm really pumped to have this, because I'm glad this winch came in. I really wanted to have this. I have one on Ruby, which I've only used it actually maybe a couple of times. Mainly when it was snowing, got stuck, stuff like that, and whatnot. So they're a lifesaver. Trust me, they really are a lifesaver. I mean, they really, you know, put you at ease knowing that if you get stuck and if you're in a bad situation, and like myself, when you're out there by yourself and you get stuck and you're fucked, you know. So now I got something to, you know, get me out in case I get stuck. So enough of that said, let's get to it. And first thing we'll do is I'll show you how to take the bumper off, the front bumper off, and we'll see you in a moment. Okay, first off, best thing to do, like I said, is to remove the front bumper. Now this is a stock bumper here. I got a socket right there. It's a 15mm socket right there. There's a bolt there. There's a bolt right here. I don't know if you can. I'm trying to get this bumper will pull out, and then you put the mounting plate into there, which I'll show you in just a moment. Correction, I was wrong. Those aren't nuts. Those right there are not nuts. The bolt is actually right here, out on the outside. One there, and of course one on the other side. I can't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to hold the GoPro with the flashlight, but it's right here. It's right there. There's one on the outside, which is the duh thing. Because man, it was hot. I was thinking, man, this thing is on there fucking tight. But that's not a nut. That's just I'm not sure what they call that, but it's a threaded locking thing I put on there. So, and by the way, some people use power tools for this. I probably wouldn't use an impact driver. I would not recommend that, because you can strip these out. That's why I prefer just go ahead and unloosen them up with the socket wrench, the hand tools first, and then maybe fastening them back on, I'll use a power tool, a cordless, you know, ratchet. But yeah, it's just so you don't strip anything out. Just make sure you use hand tools, a normal socket wrench and a socket wrench and a socket. That way you don't strip anything out. Same thing on the outside. They're all on the outside. I'm sorry, not inside, the outside. There's two here and two on the other side as well. And they take a 12mm. And yeah, you might want to try to avoid hitting your plastic like I am. It's kind of hard to do that, not to do that. And then there's another one right there you got to get right here. And then two more on this side, on the driver's side. Again, they're 12mm, they're long flange bolts. You have to take off this one, and then there's another one next to it. That little scratchy noise, that was my socket wrench. It does that sometimes. And you should be able just to twist it with your fingers with this extender here to get it off, instead of using the... I mean, I know I can probably do it 10 times faster using a cordless socket wrench, but it's up on the desk there. I don't feel like getting back up and grabbing it. So yeah. Okay, got those 4 bolts out. They're they're flange bolts. There's 2 there on that side, driver's side, and there's 2 on the passenger side. Now, the problem I ran into This piece right here was welded to the bumper. This is what retains that bolt. Well, it broke. It broke off the weld. So I got a problem now, because now I have to use a 15mm wrench to hold it, to unscrew it, to take the flange bolt out. So, which is kind of a shitty thing. I don't know why it broke. I was using socket wrench. I wasn't using any high torque or anything like that. So obviously this probably wasn't welding on very well, which is not a big deal, because like I said, I just hold it with a wrench and screw it in, with the socket on the other side, holding this in place. So otherwise I'd have to get a whole new bumper just for this fucking little piece here. But anyway, they're off. So now we're gonna pull the bumper out, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so it's kind of loose. There's not a whole lot of light in this garage. I apologize for that. I know I got to get some more LED lights in here and stuff, but the bumper should pull right out, it'll come down like this. You grab it from the side and just wiggle it out, and it should come right out. There's push pins right here. I forgot to mention that. There's little retainer push pins right there on the plastic holding it in, which is kind of stupid. I don't know what Honda was thinking. And there's one right there. So we'll pull those out real quick, and then the whole thing should slide right out. Now, usually these things you can use a flathead screwdriver. Let me get this a little bit better like that. Okay. Usually you can use a flathead screwdriver and get them out, but you take a tool kind of like this. It gets in there and gets them out. Sometimes it works, and it's not. You can get the pin, the center piece out of there sometimes. Like that, you just pull up, pulls it out like that. If the other piece that goes around it, that holds it in, like this little, like these guys here that I just flipped out. These guys right here, just push down on the bumper and it'll pull it out. It won't break. It shouldn't break anything. And the bumper comes right off like that. Here's the stock bumper right here. But supposedly the mounting plate will go in here on this bumper here, but it looks like we may have to, I don't know, I hope we don't have to drill any holes in this to get any, but that's kind of what it looks like. I may have to do that. It may have to be a bit more of a project than I thought it was going to be. But we'll find out in just a moment. You know, I probably should be reading instructions to the winch, but it looks like taking this mounting plate, because this is where the fair lead will go. This is where the fair lead will be. That'll feed out of the winch for the fair lead and the hook and all that stuff, because it lines up with this hole here. It lines up with the hole where you put the bumper back on, and right here. So I probably shouldn't be a dumbass and do this myself without reading instructions. I probably should look at the instructions. I'm just kind of going along with what I saw on YouTube and stuff, trying to remember. Of course, this is a 22 Talon, so the one I was watching was a 21, a 2020 model and 21. So I don't know if there's any much difference in the way that Honda made the bumper and stuff, but this looks like pretty much what the mounting plate looks like. It goes into like this. Okay, as you unbox it, there's going to be three different sections, three different pieces to the box. There's going to be this piece here, this box here, and then this box here. This box is the actual winch itself. This box here contains I believe it's the hook, the hardware, all the bolts and nuts that you're going to need mounting plate on. The synthetic rope sleeve protector, and here's the fair lead right here that you put on the winch that mounts on there, and it comes with a sticker. And then there's instructions here. Here's a manual. It's more of like a diagram of showing you where the wires go and stuff. The other thing I forgot to mention was I did get, now it comes with, originally the kit comes with a handlebar mounting switch, the rocker switch, you know, for the in and out. But since this is a UTV, I had them order the rocker switch, the dash one, because there's no way you're going to be able to put a handlebar one on this. You have to get creative. I'm sure that I'm sure you can use the handlebar one. You gotta get creative. But you gotta drill holes in the dash and stuff. I don't want to do that. So I went ahead and got the rocker switch here, which it comes with a remote socket too for remote control. But I don't have a remote control for that yet. So, but yeah, that's what's going to be in the kit. I have figured out. I know that piece goes to now. This piece right here fits on top of theirs because the holes line up there and there. So I'm gonna go ahead and piece this together off camera. Once I get the winch installed onto the mounting plate, I'll go ahead and show what I did, what you need to do and stuff. So just hold on, give me a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, one thing I want to point out before I go any further, just so you guys know, again, this is not a sponsorship. Okay, I'm not sponsoring this. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube in case, you never know. But it's not a sponsorship. I'm just showing you what I got because I like Warren. Warren's a good product. So I'm just showing what I got and doing an installation video. So no sponsorship. So basically this is what you get out of the package. Here's the actual winch. I'm sure most of you know what winches look like and stuff, but it comes in the package here. It is the synthetic rope. I got the synthetic rope, which I heard, which is a lot better than the aluminum. But this is basically a winch here, and this will mount on. Here's the bumper here. I'm trying to do this as best as I can. It's hard to vlog and do these videos by yourself when you don't have a cameraman. But basically, it'll mount onto this mounting plate here, which I figured out. I looked at the diagram. It goes on here, which will go on the bumper here, and it will go in there. I'll figure it out, which I will get to it in just a moment. I'm going to put this on the plate, get it all fastened in. I won't tighten them up any bolts or anything yet, and then I'll come back and show you guys exactly what I did. Okay, the kit will come with like I said, several nuts and bolts for your sting. Now, to mount the winch, tip it upside down. There's 4 holes for this particular winch here, this VRX 3,500 pound one. If you tip it upside down, put this mounting plate on the bottom, put it on top, on the bottom of the winch, these holes will line up right here. And you install these bolts here onto the plate. Like this, like so, kind of like that. Then, this piece right here is the fair lead. This is what goes onto the front. It comes with 2 of these hex ones with nylon locking nuts that go in the back. This is the tricky part here. There's little slots here. There's like a square right here. And there's one right here. Same right there and there. And this is weird. They actually go in like this. Move my hand a little bit. They go in like this with the locking nut behind it. You put into the fair lead like that, and it goes in. See how it lines up like this, if you can see it. So I'll go ahead and get that done. I'll show you. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take a 17mm wrench for the locking nuts to go in the back when you hold it. So you can hold it and then use a hex to hold the screw in. So this is going to go in like this. Like I said, that little slot right there, which is really screwy, because it lines up right here. Turn my fan off because I know the wind's blowing on the. Then once you get the bolts in, it'll stay. Then you take the nylon nuts. Then you Keep your thoughts to yourself, by the way. You just hold it in, put them in this way. Kind of in an awkward position here. You can, unlike me, I got such a fucking mess in this goddamn garage. It's freaking. Bear with me on this, guys. I know it's kind of embarrassing, but I just really need to find some time to get this fucking place cleaned up. I just haven't had a whole lot of time. Sometimes motivation isn't catching up to me anymore. Anyway, so you take this, and you're gonna hold it like that. You're gonna make sure your socket wrench is spinning the right way. This is actually this is a really old socket wrench. I believe this belonged to my grandfather, on my dad's side, his father. So yeah, this is about probably a 60-70-year-old socket wrench, which is actually, it still works too, you know. So you can just go ahead and it's probably best just to go ahead and you probably finger tie it in first. Of course, you don't want to go the opposite direction, Tony. And just kind of hold it like that. It'll start tightening up. Now, I'm not exactly sure what torque specs are on this stuff or not. I'm pretty sure it stays pretty tight. The one on Ruby that I put on there, I didn't have I didn't use any torque specs or anything. I just really fastened it up really tight, and it stays. It's, I haven't had any issues of any nuts and bolts coming off. I know sometimes it's kind of a pain to hold this in. Probably could use a socket wrench. I know I'm probably gonna end up doing that because it will hold it better. But for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of fasten it on right there. I'll tighten it up later. And that's the fair lead. This will help when the rope's coming through. Basically, what it'll do is it'll keep it from getting cut, damaged on the edges here. It's a smooth edge here, so I'm gonna pull the rope out with the hook in, and then this piece here will mount onto the bumper piece right here. Now this piece here goes on top, which fastens on to these holes right here. If you can see that, I'm not really holding the camera in a very good angle, but I'm not exactly sure. I think that just kind of holds it in place to keep it from moving around and stuff. So. Just a moment, I'll get this put into the bumper piece and fasten it up and just kind of show you what I did and stuff. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, the winch is now installed onto the bracket, onto the bumper frame. So the hardware is this little piece right here, goes on top. These two bolts here, two nylon locking nuts on the bottom. You got a bolt here, locking nylon nut here on the inside. Same on this side too, right here, there, and there. And then these bolts here will replace, when you fasten it back onto the Talon, that replaces the factory bolt when you put it onto the frame of the Talon. The only factory bolts that I found out that you used when you put it back on are the four that were right here, those two here, and then two on the other side. So I haven't fastened anything up, but this is basically what it should look like. Yeah, so that's basically all I gotta do is just fasten it up, put the bumper back onto the Talon, and then go on to the wiring, which I'll probably do in a moment here and in the meantime. So stay tuned. Okay, got the bumper back on, and boy, was that a fucking pain in the goddamn ass. Basically, you gotta shove it back into the slot, and put your bolts back in. Those two there, if you can see it. I don't have my flashlight again, so I'm going to find. But anyway. Now that's on. Pretty much now what's left is the wiring, as I said. Here's the rope. Drug it out some to be able to put. This is the sleeve right here that goes over, that goes onto the rope. Basically, that protects the rope when you're winching. This will protect the rope from getting frayed and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on for you, show you, and just basically all it does, basically like a sock, putting a sock on your foot. You just take the end of it here, and then take this there and just feed it in like that. I'm trying to hold the GoPro with the, and then just feed it in like that, which I'm going to need some more slack from the. What's cool about these winches is that there's the release right here. You know, you can't see it because I don't have my dang flashlight, but look at there, pulls out. You can spool it out, and you just take the here. And just pull the through just like that. Just grab it on the end here, and like that, pretty much. Yeah, like that, because the hook will go on this little eye right here. But this basically protects when you're winching to a tree or something. It helps protect the synthetic rope here from getting frayed and stuff. So now to get the hook put on, and that'll be it. Okay, here's the hook. It has the worn emblem, the worn rope. When you pull it, if you put a winch, you pull it like that. It has this piece here, which goes into here, and your cotter pin, which goes right in there. You can see that like that. Which go out, you'll spread them out, but you gotta put this on the rope first. So we'll do that right now. I know there's not a whole lot of light here, so you just kind of bear with me here. Put the rope through here. This piece right here that holds the cotter pin. It goes in there. Come on, baby. There you go. Okay. That. And take the cotter pin. Like this. Push it through. Okay, once you get the cotter pin finally through the hole, you just got to shove it through there. You take some needle nose pliers and you just grab the end of the end of it here, and just kind of bend it. You know, the whole thing can go up or whatever. But basically, you know, I'm pretty sure you know what you do. On the here, you just take the cotter pin. You're just gonna bend that piece back. Bend that piece back, keeps this center piece from sliding out, so you won't lose your hook. Okay, and that's pretty much installation of putting on the bumper and getting it installed on the plate and everything. Next thing to do is move on to the wiring. One thing I did forget to mention though, I think I did mention it. The rocker, the switch. Yeah, I did mention that. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing we'll move on with is the wiring. We'll do that, and just stay tuned, and We'll get it done.